You'll have heard the news today about Brendan Rodgers. What's your reaction to that?
I've just been made aware that he's obviously in talks with Leicester. So, I mean, from us, we just see how that pans out really. Obviously, my focus right now is Rangers and big fixture tomorrow against Dundee. So that's my main concern at the moment. But yeah, we'll keep an eye on and see how it pans out across the road.
Are you surprised by the timing of this?
Not really, because these things happen. Brendan's done ever so well at Celtic over the last few years, so it's no surprise that other clubs are watching him and are wanting to acquire his services, because he's done a very good job, and obviously I've worked with Brendan, so I know he's a very good coach. And Leicester have obviously decided to move Claude Puel on, so no, it's no surprise in terms of the time, and I think sometimes you can't control that.
And the lure of the Premier League, of course, do you think that's had a big factor in his decision?
It seems so, otherwise he'd decline the opportunity to talk to Leicester.
In terms of tomorrow night's game, how do you see the challenge of Dundee? I mean, last time it was a sort of frustrating result against them.
Yeah, it was very frustrating, and I think it's a result that still to this day doesn't really sit too well with us. We huffed and puffed on the day, and we had all the ball, but without any success in the final third, and we also scored a legitimate goal on the day. So it was a very frustrating afternoon for us, and obviously Dundee was a very important point for them, and I think there's been signs of improvement from Dundee over since the return from the winter break. So we'll show them the respect they deserve, and we'll expect it to be tough tomorrow night. But we're going in good form. Spirits are high. We put in a very good performance at the weekend, and we're going in with confidence. 2 5-0 victories with clean sheets is very pleasing to see, and we want to try and keep the same rhythm and try and build on that.
Is there a much change seen from last time you played them? Does that change your outlook into the game in any way?
Yeah, we know they've changed personnel and they've tweaked the formation from time to time, but it doesn't really change what we want to do. We have a way of playing at home, and I mentioned last week we were a bit disappointed how we played against St Johnstone, but we've had a tremendous reaction from that, and we want to go in with the right mentality and apply ourselves in the right way, and that's to play exciting football and be as aggressive as we can, and hopefully that'll be enough to get us the victory.
Do you sense that Glenn Kamara will have a point to prove tomorrow night against his former employers?
I think Glenn's got a point to prove every time he wears the Rangers shirt. I don't think that is magnified anymore because he's playing against his previous team. Glenn spoke well about Dundee and his time there. I'm sure he's looking forward to the fixture tomorrow. He's playing tomorrow, and he should be looking forward to it, but he's just got to go out and do what he's been doing since he's been in the team, which has been a very high level.
If he can persist with the levels that he's shown the last 3 games, will you look back on the fee that you paid for him, think that's a bargain in that sense?
I know it's a bargain. He's a top player. He's been schooled very well at Arsenal. And I think Neil McCann done an excellent job to take him to the next level while he was at Dundee. He fell out of favour with the current manager at Dundee, but thankfully we got him in the door earlier than we expected, and we're benefiting from that right now.
Is Andy Halliday giving you a conundrum at left back that you perhaps might not have thought you had at the start of the season when Bournemouth came in, just with his performance over the last couple of games?
Andy's been excellent since I think it was June the 15th. He's been available for every single training session, and every job I've asked him to do, he's done it very well. It's great to have him here. I think he's been a leader for us on and off the pitch in the dressing room. So yeah, he always gives me something to think about, whether it be in a midfield or a full-back position. But Andy's got a little bit of a tight groin at the moment, and I know he wants to be available tomorrow, but I've got to make a sensible decision for Andy. I think I might have to take the decision out of his hands, because Andy had played with 3 or 4 injuries. That's the character and the man we're talking about. So I might have to be sensible with Andy, because we've got some important fixtures coming up after tomorrow as well.
You mentioned the 10 goals in 2 games and no goals conceded as well. Do you feel that you're really hitting top 4 and riding on the crest of the wave at the moment around a couple of huge games?
Yeah, I'd like to think so. I mean, the reaction from St Johnstone, as I said, has been really good and positive. And obviously the goals and the clean sheets are very nice, but I've been more impressed with the hunger and the mentality of the group. I think we've got that wrong at times, and There's always a danger at Rangers sometimes the players can get a bit complacent and think they can just turn up, and that can't be the case. We have to show that intent and that hunger every fixture and every game we play in. So that'll be the message to the players tomorrow. Just because you are on a crest of a wave and confidence is high, you've still got to go and do the basics very well and start the game very strong, and that's what I want to see.
Alfredo back as well, any other teams?
Alfredo's available. Andy's the only one who's a doubt right now. Matt Polster's a doubt as well. You know, I had plans to involve Matt tomorrow, but he's got a bit of a tight groin as well, so we've got two tight groins that we need to assess and look at, but they're two big doubts where we are right now.
I can just ask you about your relationship with Andy at left back since he's come in there. How do you feel that sort of blend with Andy's has worked?
I think we've got quite a good chemistry together. We have a good understanding of each other's game. I think Andy tries, to just supply me with the ball as much as he can and get on the overlaps and, link up and make things happen in games. You've had to play with a few left backs behind you at times this season. Has that been a difficulty, or is it something you've been able to sort of adapt to quite easy enough? It's nothing I've really had to adapt to. I think it's good to have them options. It adds a lot of diversity for other teams to have, a good understanding of a left back who's always going to be playing there, because they're not always sure whether full backs are going to be overlapping or just staying and leaving me with the ball. So. You had a setback against St Johnstone last week, but you've responded in the best way possible. I mean, has that been pleasing for you, and is that the sort of standards that you need to maintain for the remainder of the season? Yeah, most definitely. Like the gaffer said, I think we've shown a very good reaction to that result, and I think that's been shown in the way that we've been playing with a lot of freedom. We've been creating a lot of chances, and the back four have been keeping clean sheets as well.